Hey guys, what's happening? Today is October 4th, 2025. Getting started mixing feed here this morning. We got the 2290 back yesterday. Put it on the mixer. Seems to be working all right. I don't think it's quite set in to where it should be yet. You know, just when I started up, it really smoking. I hope that that goes away because that's not normal for it to smoke that much. But other than that, it seems to be running all right. Although we did run into a problem with it this morning. Went to start it to grind a bale of hay, and for some reason there was no power going to the cab. There was a solenoid or a little box down there on the side that was loose, and wiggled it a little bit, got her going. So we're gonna have to mess with that, get that figured out. But other than that, put it on there because the 2090 is leaking out of the head gaskets. I don't think it won't be able to get fixed for another couple weeks here yet, so it's just sitting up there in the shed for now. But put the 2290 on there since we got it back. That way we're not running the 2090 with loaded head gaskets. I wanted to show you guys, we had this Cloverdale 500T vertical TMR out on demo, and been using it for the past probably close to a month, and it's been working out all right for us. Yesterday our Pat's mixer left, so you guys can take the hint there. Now we got this mixer when it was on demo. It did not have a conveyor on it, so that was a necessity for what we got going on here. We're still gonna have to fix this up right because this conveyor here is 42 inches. The conveyor on the Pat's 500 mixer that we had was only 36, so it's quite a bit wider than what we were used to. But overall, it's doing all right so far. I guess we'll have to see how well we like it. We like the mixer itself, but I wouldn't say I'm too crazy about this conveyor. It's not built as heavy, I think, as what the Pat's conveyor was. It was bolted fast to the frame here of the Pat's. But this mixer here, it's got a hinge on it, which might be all right. It's got a greasable hinge here, and then it must have a sprocket back here to run the chain, and then it's got a sprocket here to run the chain too. Everything's greasable, so that should save a lot. It's stainless, so it'll last a lot longer. It's not going to rust out. Our old conveyor was rusted out, and it actually wore through the one time, so we had to put a new bottom in it. But other than that, it's the same mixer. We did get the hay kit with it, so it did come with this chain in here, and then of course the belting around the top, which I think all of the Cloverdale mixers have that in it. But there's still some feed in here. I can't really show you guys now, but while it was at the dealership getting the conveyor put on, they did hard weld the screw. So basically they're supposed to run a bead the whole way around the screw. It's what they come from the factory, but the dealership said that they could do it cheaper than getting a whole new screw put in. So we let them do it, and you don't want to see the welds. I'm not going to say my welds are perfect, but I do know what good welds look like, and those are not good welds. So I'm not sure how well that hard weld has got to hold up in there. It's meant to save the screw. When you're grinding bales, this guy chew down on your screw over time, and having that hard weld on there is supposed to save your screw from getting wore down as easy. But the way those welds look, I don't know if that's gonna hold up to what it's supposed to do or not. I guess we'll find out. Overall, we're pretty happy with the mixer. We like how it mixes. It mixes a lot faster than what our Pats did. Definitely a noticeable difference. As soon as we started mixing with this mixer, our butterfat and the milk come up. Cows started eating more. So it does a good job mixing. As far as the mixer goes, yeah, it's a pretty simple design. I can't say anything bad about this conveyor. It's a lot more simpler than our Pats. It's not built quite as heavy though. So it is here to stay. Guess we'll find out how well it compares to the Pats over the years, how fast it wears in, whatnot. But a couple things I do like about this mixer over the Pats is the reservoir for the gearbox. The gearbox oil for the gearbox down there. The grease fittings are more accessible on this one here than the Pats was. The Pats had a big old shield to come clean up here. It was a pain to have to lift up the grease all the time. This here's a little wee shield, stainless, no rust. Our old mixer had, this was all covered right here and hay would lay on it. It was steel, so it was rusting over time. Nice big ladder on it. The scale head it's bigger, but the screen's smaller. Don't ask me why. One nice thing about this mixer, so it has the scale wire runs through your plug for the lights, so you only have to have one plug. You don't have to have this here plug to run the scale, which we put this on because the 2090 had broke down and we put the 125 on, and you thought that a newer tractor like that you wouldn't have any problem with it, but Dad couldn't get the scale to work, so he ended up having to use this plug, and they had to send out an old plug, the old style plug that we used on our Pats, and plug it into the scale head here. So we put it on this tractor and we hooked the mixer up yesterday, and I had said to Dad, I wonder if that'll work. So I plugged it back in the way it's supposed to be, and for whatever reason it does work on this tractor. So no more having to switch wiring out because it's wired straight to the battery. You have to take the cover off the battery and loosen the terminals up, and it's just a big pain having to switch wiring. But all the tractors have these Polac plugs on them, besides the 2090, the tractor we always mix with, which it has the wiring for one, so I'm just gonna put one on it, and then anytime we have to switch out a tractor, there'll be no having to switch any wiring out. So that is one advantage over the Pats mixer. I do not know if the new mixers are like that at all. I would imagine they're probably similar to this. Maybe this is a Cloverdale design, I really don't know. Another thing, the power takeoff shaft, it doesn't seem as heavy, as bulky to deal with. This mixer does have a safety chain on it, our old one didn't, but I like how you can unlatch it. It has a big piece around here that you grab a hold of to unlock that power takeoff. The old one had a little thing here on the end you slid, and it wasn't as nice to unhook, but overall it's not a whole lot different than what our Pats was. I'm not saying nothing bad about Pats. We had good luck with it. It lasted us, oh man, 12-13 years is what we had figured. There's not a whole lot going on today. It is now after lunch here. I had really wasn't planning on making a video today, but figured I might as well. I did want to film that 2290 since we had got it back. It went for an overhaul back in February, and a lot of the time what held up the tractor the most was getting the injectors back for it. They sent the first set of injectors away that were out of that tractor, and they got lost in the UPS. Got lost, meaning that somebody probably stole them somewhere along the line, but because they are worth money, they're like $600 a piece, brand new for those tractors. So we had, I think Marv took the ones out of the old block that was down there for that tractor, or the old ones out of this tractor, the 2090 here behind me. He had put some new ones in it years ago when he overhauled it, but I think he sent those ones away and finally did get the injectors back for it, and then run into some other problems. The oil pump needed rebuilt. There's something else too. He just kept running into problems with it, and they kept setting them back, and so that's why it got held up for that long. But it's nice to have it back, and I hope it runs good, and it runs for a while, at least 6,000 or 7,000 more hours. This tractor here, I do want to pull it out. I wasn't even thinking. I pulled this 125 in the shed. We'll have to move it to get it out. Want to pull it outside and pressure wash it off. So we'll get her pulled outside and give it a good washing. Not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. Just get it cleaned up good, so it don't look half bad. Now I'll wash the mat out inside it there. How we doing today? It is now the following Monday. Actually, the last I filmed was 2 Saturdays ago, so not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before. It's been a little while, hasn't been a whole lot going on. Got ourselves a rainy day here. My dad had to go pick up a part for the takeoff on the milker. The board had went bad on the one milker, so he was taking care of that. And we had some equipment, our pull type Gale chopper and a Badger wagon up in the shed that we were renting out at the neighbor's place, and he wanted us to get them out of there, which Dad had planned on getting them out of there sometime soon anyways, but we got a rainy day today, so that's what I'm working on. The chopper had a flat tire. I guess I could have took it off and spun it around and put the flat side up and probably been alright, but don't know if that would have worked too well. But I took a tire off of the one gravity wagon up on the hill that we don't use anymore. It already had the one taken off and put it on the chisel plow. So I robbed another tire off of that. Got the tire put on and the other one pumped up. He had a neighbor in there, hers up there, that he let me use to pump them tires up. So we got a forage wagon move home yet, a Gale pull type chopper. We also had our old generator up there. If you were around years ago, we had our generator short out and burn up on us. Not sure what's wrong with it, just doesn't produce power anymore. So it was up there in the shed as well. I did bring it down. So we gotta take the 2290 up and bring the chopper home and the forage wagon home. Not sure what we're gonna do with them. Probably just park them down back for now. And we had an electrical problem with it last week. There's a little box down here on the side that has something to do with starting and sending power to your cab. And we thought the box had went bad because on the tractor side of the plug was all messed up. So we had ordered both ends and just ran new wires. But it also has all these posts here on a thing, I don't know what you call it, but they actually shorted out, and that was the main problem. Whenever Dad tore it off, this piece here that it's fastened to comes down, and I guess it swung around and hit the oil pan here and arced off the oil pan, and that's how we found out that that whole row of posts on that thing were shorted out. But we did put a new plug and a new box on that. Man, I miss the sound of the old girl. She sounds good. There she is. She's a beaut. Good old Badger 950, I think it is. That's the serial number. It doesn't say the model. Pretty sure this one's a 950. If you guys been around, remember I had pulled these. Well, not this one here. This one here was, we pulled it out of the shed. We used to keep all 3 wagons. Back in the day, we had the Gale pull type chopper, which I'll show you here in a little bit. And we had 3 wagons, 2 Badgers, this 950 being 1050, and a Gale 980. We had kept it all up there in the shed, and then we had moved some stuff up there to the neighbors to get some more shed space here. And there for a while there was still a Badger wagon in there. I'd pulled it out a while ago, and that Gale 980 was sitting outside. It was up there in the shed at one point, but that's been a while ago. We had just sold that Gale 980 about 2 weeks ago, and then that BN 1050 we sold probably 2 years ago, I think, because we don't use the stuff anymore. So that's probably what will end up happening to this wagon here. This one's the roughest out of the 3 of them that we had, so I'm not sure if anybody would even want it. I know it works, and the neighbor had used it. I think the chain had broke on it, and when that happens, you have to fork a load of silage off to get the chain fixed. Well, there she is. Gale 760 2-row. I've never showed this on the channel before. You guys have seen the other silage wagons, but my uncle got this chopper quite a few years ago, probably back in the 90s, if I had to guess. He had a 750, a Gale 750, which is kind of identical to this. This head's actually off of that 750. It's something sitting up behind the shed. These 2 here made quite a rig back in the day. Tractor chopped a lot of corn, I think. Used to use it before they got the 2294 to chop. So it has been hooked up to this thing quite a few times and chopped quite a few loads of corn.